All right. Rutgers hosting Maryland on Sunday, February 25th, 12 o'clock. BTN, huge game. Rutgers now on a 2-game losing streak. Maryland coming in, losing 5 of 6. They've lost their last 3 Big Ten away games. Rutgers has won their last 2 home games. This is obviously a critical game for both teams. And Ken Palm has it as Rutgers as a projected to win by 1 point, 51% chance of winning. So it's tight. We know Rutgers beat Maryland. Was it about 3 weeks ago in College Park with a tremendous defensive effort. Both teams played really well defensively. Both teams are top 10 nationally in defensive efficiency. Rutgers now back to 3rd after 2 consecutive really poor performances, and now Maryland's at 6. But in Big Ten play, these are the top 2 defenses and the 2 worst offenses. Both teams were terrible from 3 in the first outing. Maryland was just 2 of 18. Rutgers was 3 of 13. So that's something to watch for. But a couple things first before I really dive into it. Wanted to promote the Core Club. Our friends at the Core Club have their annual auction after the game on Sunday. The game's at noon. The auction's directly after. It's free and open to the public at the APC. So it's a great chance to get into the APC. It's on the 2nd floor level of the nutrition area. They have a bunch of tricky tray items. They have a bunch of live auction items, team gear, some ticket packages, some autograph stuff, Rutgers stuff, non-Rutgers stuff, but some ticket packages. There's a whole Quincy Doobie package with a bunch of his gear. So a lot of really cool things. It's something they do. It's kind of their big fundraiser each year for them to be able to contribute to the basketball program. So definitely check it out. It's directly after the game on Sunday. Court Club. They do a great job in supporting Rutgers men's basketball. And if you go to the game, definitely check it out after in the APC. Also, wanted to just say that I thought, Rutgers did a great job with this. It's the blackout on Sunday. And they had a contest. And they announced online that Luciana of Roosevelt Elementary School, she's a 4th grader, won the shirt design. It's really cool. If you go to their Twitter account or any social media, you'll see it. And they're giving it out in the student section tomorrow. So really cool promotion there. And but listen, this is a really important game. And can Rutgers bounce back? We know there's injury issues. I think the question now is Moat Mag, is it a pain management situation? Is it a flare-up situation? Or is it a injury that's going to keep him out for a period of time? No clarification there. We'll see what the availability report says. It'll come out tomorrow morning, Sunday morning, before the game. But obviously crucial in terms of, what he can give if he is able to go. He's so crucial to the defense. We know that. But Rutgers, their last time at home did not play with Moat Mag, played really well defensively against a better offensive team in Northwestern. They were missing a couple weapons. But it's really, I think, a gut check game for this team. This is an opportunity to get back off the mat. They've lost 2 in a row after their 4-game winning streak. Winning 5 out of 7 is a heck of a lot better than winning 4 and then losing 3. You have Michigan coming up on Thursday. So I think the starters, have struggled in the losses. You need to see more consistency there offensively, more discipline. They need to get back to getting downhill. The spacing needs to be better. It's really was a struggle in that second half against Minnesota and then against Purdue. Not able to create driving lanes. Obviously, the opposition had something to do with that in terms of collapsing and taking away driving lanes. But Rutgers has to do a better job of spacing. They have to be more, stick to the plan. They need to share the basketball more. In terms of, getting forced into contested shots. There's actually an analytical graph that's out there, college basketball analytics, and shows that Rutgers shot selection is pretty poor this season. We knew that. That's not really a surprise. They were 11 of 33 from mid-range against Purdue. And, it's about getting to the foul line, attacking the rim, creating, finding teammates in space. Cliff has really been taken out of the last 2. The last game against Purdue, he played well against Minnesota, specifically in the first half, did not get much in the second half. So that's 3 halves in a row. He's been neutralized offensively. They need to find him in open space, get him attacking the rim. getting him above the rim. Rutgers has to get out in transition. They were able to turn Maryland over quite a bit in that first game, 15 turnovers. Rutgers also had 15 turnovers. So you have to manage the basketball well. They need strong guard play. Derek Simpson's got to step up in this game, I think. Jeremiah Williams has been still pretty consistent despite Rutgers losing the last two. But he was really able to get to the rim at will against Maryland in the first meeting. They were able to neutralize Jameer Young, all Big Ten guard. He's tremendous. Michael Davis did a really good job on him. Derek Simpson, they were kind of sharing the load. The press bothered Maryland at times. The zone, the 1-3-1 bothered Maryland at times. You know that. Listen, Kevin Willard, like him or not, he's a good coach. They're going to make adjustments. So it's really which team was able to make adjustments from the first meeting. I think Rutgers needs to have confidence, play with confidence in this game. They're back in front of the home faithful. The road trip is now over. They've played really well at home of late. They've beaten this team already. I think establishing rhythm early. Rutgers, has a habit of falling back early. The last two games they've gotten sped up. I think that is a positive in this game. Is that that's not like how Maryland likes to play at all. So this is going to be another rock fight, and it's about having patience, working Maryland defensively, and also making them work on offense, not allowing easy baskets, not turning the ball over and allowing them to get out in transition and score off of turnovers, controlling the glass. Both teams are good on the offensive glass and also limiting their opponents on the offensive glass. So that is a key. They were pretty even on the boards in the first matchup. But which team is either team going to be effective from three? If one team obviously can hit some shots from behind the arc, that's going to be an advantage. We've talked about Rutgers with the bench really being the key to the 3-point attack with Noah Fernandez, who gave them some good minutes against Purdue. And also, Gavin Griffiths looked better against Purdue. So can the bench get some momentum in this game and kind of build off of those two guys' performances in the last game? Thought that was key. Bully, spelling Cliff at times, even outscored Cliff in that Purdue game, which is, just kind of a wash really with how that game was going. But it's going to have to be a more connected performance. I think in terms of will they come out with energy? It's a noon start on Sunday. They just had the late Thursday game. Maryland played on Tuesday, so they've had some more rest. It's not a, lengthy road trip for them by any stretch of the imagination. But in terms of the matchup specifically with these two teams, just in terms of how they've been in, this year, Maryland, struggles from three. Both teams are poor 3-point shooters. Both teams defend the three really well. So it doesn't bode well there. But again, like I said, if one team can get hot from the arc, even just for a little bit, that could be the difference in the game. Maryland is really good at getting to the foul line. So that is the thing. They're 14th in free throw rate in the country. And in that first matchup, in terms of at Maryland, Maryland was able to get just, they got 23 free throws. Rutgers had just 11. Rutgers was 9-11 from the line. Maryland was 17 of 23. So now it flips, at home. Can Rutgers, defend without fouling? They have gotten some calls on the road in terms of fouling a lot. So that has to obviously turn around in this matchup. But, that's something to note. Maryland is not the best free throw shooting team. They're 72%, which is respectable. It's about average. But they do get to the line quite a bit. And in terms of assist rate, Maryland is more of an ISO team. Jameer Young obviously is their biggest threat. Julian Reese is their post threat. You have Dante Scott. Those guys are more ISO players. So forcing them into ISO situations and contested shots is key. Not allowing them to attack the rim. They really bottled up Jameer Young in that first game. He was not nearly as effective as he has been this season. He did score 16 points, but he was a miserable 1 of 13 from 2. And he was 3 of 17 overall. That was a game in which, Rutgers actually shot a little bit better from 2. They were 44% inside in that game. And Mawat Mag was key. I mean, he was 6 of 8 inside in that game. Again, we don't know how much, if he can go, and how much he can give this team in that game on Sunday noon. But this is for me. I'm looking at how this team comes out. Are they going to come out with energy? Are they going to come out with urgency? Are they going to come out with kind of a positive vibe? Is the bench going to be in it on the sidelines? You really want to see this team show the urgency to get back in the swing of things. They're going to have a packed house. That's a great way to when you're playing to get. Maryland is not an easy opponent. The middle of the pack Big Ten team. They're not a good offense or a good defense. Very similar profile to Rutgers, but they've been they've struggled as of late, and sweeping any team is tough, especially a really good defensive team. So you're going to have to see connectedness right away. Rutgers, they were effective in doubling the ball at times, leaving the screener and kind of attacking the guy coming off the screen. They were able to get some steals that way. They were forced Maryland into some bad passes. They were able to get out of the break at times, even off of defensive rebounds. There was a play, it was a Sports Center top 5 or whatever, where Jeremiah Williams got the offensive rebound, got to outlet pass out to Derek Simpson really quick, who got to the rim and underneath basket. So they can run on Maryland a little bit, and they were able to, and they were able to get downhill on them. So again, it's going to go back to just kind of spreading the floor, being patient, moving the ball around, make it hard on Maryland on both ends of the floor. Make them work on defense, make them have to. Maryland is the type of offense that it struggles against this Rutgers defense because they're not good at ball reversals and moving the defense around. That's when Rutgers is most vulnerable, and that's what happened against Purdue and Minnesota. They were really good at spreading Rutgers out and moving the ball around, and that's obviously what Rutgers has to do on the offensive end as well. And you got to put the ball in Jeremiah Williams' hands. He was really effective against Maryland. They might have some adjustments there. Maybe they'll double him. But he's a really good passer. He's got good court awareness. But I don't know. For me, this is a game where I think Derek Simpson needs to make good decisions and hit some shots. He struggled at times. I think his decision making has been a little bit better. And he's had some, like when Derek Simpson's on, Rutgers is really good and hard to beat. And he was really on against Maryland in that first meeting. So what did he do? He was actually, that wasn't one of his better offensive games, but he did have 3 assists, 2 steals. He hit a couple shots. He had 6 points, but I thought he was playing within the flow of the offense in that game. But if he can hit some mid-range, but again, it's got to be within the flow of the offense. It's not that taking mid-range shots are bad, but when you settle late in the shot clock and you're taking contested shots, that's not what you want. Rutgers has to get into their offense quicker. Maryland presses a little bit too. They force some turnovers, but I think in terms of this game, I think Rutgers will be more prepared for it. And I'm just looking back at how they're, Maryland is in terms of 14 turnovers, is pretty good at it. And they're really good at defending the 2. Both teams are really good at defending the 2. So rim defense is going to be really important, but I think for Cliff, this is a game we want to see him bounce back. He struggled against Edey, but Julian Reese is a good post player, but Cliff, really played well that first meeting, and this is a statement game for Rutgers. It really is. It's a game that they got to stop the bleeding, and if it, because if they lose this game, then you start to worry that it's going to snowball and that there could be a negative end to the season. You win this game, you get a little momentum back. You have Michigan on Thursday, and you have a chance. Listen, you protect home court the rest of the season, you're going to get to 17 wins. You're going to guarantee a winning season. That is essential for this team, and that should be, kind of the floor goal at this point, and it's one that they can achieve. Obviously, if Mawat Mag's not available, it's going to be harder, but these are still games that they can win, and this is a team. And they need multiple contributions. They need more balanced scoring. Andre Hyatt was quiet the last couple of games. They need him to step up, hit some threes, make some good decisions. But when this team shares the basketball offensively, when they have good spacing, when they can get downhill, and when they can play with confidence, they're going to be tough to beat. And Maryland's a good defensive team, but I really want to see Rutgers come out with some urgency in this game. and be the aggressor, defend without fouling, play with intensity on both ends of the floor. And this is a game, if they can get out to a lead early, Maryland might lack some confidence. They've lost 5 or 6. They've lost their last 3 road games. They have won at Illinois, which was a kind of a shocker. They won at UCLA. They beat another Big Ten team on the road. Who did they beat on the road in Big Ten play? They beat Iowa. They swept Iowa. It was just one of those matchup things where they did really well against Iowa. We know Rutgers does not. But which coach is going to make more adjustments in this game? We'll see. But huge game for both sides. Court Club has their auction after the game at the APC. This is a shirt by Night and Day Apparel. Go to Night and Day Apparel and use the code Scarlet Faithful and you get a 10% discount. Appreciate everyone listening and watching once again. And I'll be back after the Rutgers Maryland game on Sunday with my rapid reaction. Have a great weekend.